Well, food supply has been one of the challenges during lockdowns in many countries, but it's been a different story in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where the food market has seen plentiful stocks of tomatoes, plum, and other produce for mass shoppers. Take a look.
Dried fish, tomatoes, whatever they need, as long as it is a food item, it can be found in Kinshasa's main food market if you have the money to make the purchase. For many here, the lockdown has had little or no impact on the market, except for the increase in prices, which some government officials have condemned as unscrupulous profiteering at a time of international crisis. Vegetable vendor Leah Nsumbi tells why she decided to increase her prices.
Before the virus arrived, we bought one box of tomatoes for 30 to 35,000 Congolese francs. But since the epidemic was declared in Congo, the price for the box of tomatoes has tripled to 110 to 120,000 Congolese francs. Since then, the prices have stayed that way. If the prices move a little, they might go down to 80,000. If the producers don't bring tomatoes, the price goes up to 120,000. So that's the situation we're in today.
The DRC is already the second most food insecure country in the world, made worse by decades of conflict, according to the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization. The country, with 80 million hectares of arable land, has the potential to feed almost a quarter of the world's population, 2 billion people, says the World Food Programme. But with only 10% of its arable land cultivated and its infrastructure in ruins, the country has come to rely heavily on food imports. Its existing food systems and the livelihoods of smallholders and vulnerable people are also likely to be heavily impacted in the longer term by restrictions on movement imposed due to the pandemic. While trying to break the myth that there isn't enough to go round, authorities blame poor planning.
Kinshasa lives on two things. First, local produce, which come from Bodondo and central Congo. And when we close regional borders, we realize that Kinshasa is worthless on its own. The city's supply logistics is not well organized. It's artisanal. If you add on top of that the administrations and security forces improvisations, we find out that it is organized chaos.
The DRC's central bank has predicted the country will slip into recession this year for the first time in almost 2 decades and forecast that inflation will more than double to 9.9% compared to 2019.